Aloha, we're convening the Committee on Transportation for the purpose of a hearing for our 11 a.m. Tuesday, February 13th agenda. We have 3 bills on our agenda today, as well as decision-making on a 4th bill that was originally heard on February 8th. We'll open up testimony for HB 2748 relating to law enforcement. This establishes statewide vehicular pursuit policies. Vice Chair?
Michael Vincent, Department of Law Enforcement, with comments? No? Stanton Tanaka, HPD, in opposition on Zoom?
Good morning, Chair, Vice Chair. Major Station Tanaka from HPD's Traffic Division. We are in opposition of this bill, and I'm available for questioning.
Sherry Bird, Hawaii Police Department, in opposition? Josh Parker, Policing Project at NYU, in support? Anyone else wishing to testify on this matter? HB 2748? Chair, seeing none.
Thank you. Members, do you have any questions on this measure? Okay, seeing none, we're going to move on to the next item on the agenda, which is HB 2650. This is relating to invasive species and coordinated removal of albizia and other invasive trees. Vice Chair for the testimony.
Chelsea Arnott, DLNR, in support?
Aloha, Chair, Vice Chair, members of the committee. Chelsea Arnott on behalf of the Department of Land and Natural Resources and also program support for our Hawaii Invasive Species Council. I just wanted to introduce myself because I don't get an opportunity to be before this committee that often. So just really appreciate this measure, and the department stands on its written testimony and support. Mahalo.
Thank you very much. Chair PUC, with comments and support, or with comments, sorry.
Chair, members, Leo Sanchez, Chair of the PUC. We'll stand on our written testimony providing comments.
Thank you very much, Chair. Okay. Jennifer Zelko, Hawaiian Electric, in support on Zoom.
Aloha, Chair, Vice Chair, and members of the committee. My name is Jennifer Zelko, and I am testifying on behalf of Hawaiian Electric in strong support of HB 2650. We do stand on our testimony, but happy to answer any questions the committee may have. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Josephine Tanimoto, individual in support. Kavehi Young, Big Island Invasive Species Committee in support. Christy Martin, coordinating group of alien pest species in support. Any other individuals wishing to testify on this matter? HB 2650. Chair, seeing none.
All right, thank you. Members, do we have any questions on this measure? Seeing none, we're going to move on to the last item on our agenda, which is HB 2122, relating to transportation. This deals with private roads task force to facilitate repair and potential transfer of disputed roads. Vice Chair for the testimony.
Ed Sniffen, Department of Transportation, in opposition. Nope. Okay. Marjorie Lau, Deputy Attorney General, with comments.
Good morning.
Morning.
Chair Todd, Vice Chair, and members of the committee. I'm Deputy Attorney General Marjorie Lau, and we have provided our written comments, and I'm available for any questions. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any other individuals wishing to testify on this matter? HB 2122. Chair, seeing none.
Okay, members, any questions? Okay, sorry.
I have a quick question for, I guess, the AGs. Department of Transportation submitted testimony that this issue was already covered in 264-2.1. Do you have any comment about that?
So that is the current statutory section, which allows for, in the case of disputed roads, for the state to make certain determinations, and in that case, do an administrative order to have ownership held by the county.
Okay.
It doesn't get into private roads, which is one of the concerns here, but in terms of disputed roads, where it's
Okay.
not clear who owns it, there is a procedure already in the statute.
I see. Okay. Okay, understood. Thank you very much.
All right, members, any additional questions? Okay, seeing none, I think we'll roll straight into decision-making, if that's
Yep,
okay.
Sounds great.
Everyone okay? Okay. We're going to open up first with HB 1991. We originally heard this measure relating to motor vehicle insurance, which deals with U-Drive insurance policy requirements. We originally heard it on February 8th. So, I do have some concerns. I think my personal preference would be that we basically just kind of cut and replace this thing to kind of accomplish what we're trying to do, which is create more equity between, peer-to-peer and rental car services in terms of their insurance requirements. I think right now the current guideline is peer-to-peer pays about 4 times their premiums, give or take, which I can understand having some sort of increase, but 4 times does seem a little on the high end. But I'm not sure if we really have the flexibility to do something wholesale like that. For the time being, to keep the conversation going, we're going to recommend an HD1 with a defective date of July 1st, 3000, and some technical amendments needed for clarity, consistency, and style. And we will insert some notes in the committee report about, maybe an alternative way to find more of that parity without actually doing harm to the rental car industry, which is my concern with the bill going forward. Members, do you have any comments? Okay. Rep. Onishi?
Thank you, Chair. Chair, I think we heard testimony that the rental car companies already provide the option for coverages by the renter. Whether or not that amount is sufficient, I think is something that maybe we could have addressed in this bill. But to make it on par with the other, with Turo and those guys, it's, to me, a completely different model.
Yes.
And therefore, I have strong reservations in terms of supporting this bill. So I'm going to be voting with reservations for now.
Gotcha.
Thank you.
Members, anything additional? Yeah, Rep. Evslin?
Yeah, sorry, I'd like to request a ruling on a potential conflict of interest.
Are you a rental car company?
I have been a frequent Turo host in the past and likely will in the future, and I have many family members who also.
Okay, as for our purposes of our committee, there's no conflict, but you can request a ruling on the floor down the road.
Thank you.
Okay. Members, anything additional? All right, Vice Chair for the vote.
Members voting on HB 1991, Chair's recommendation is to pass with amendments. Chair voting aye and Rep. IU also voting aye. Representative Keela is excused. Representative Eslin.
Aye.
Representative Kitagawa.
Here, oh, aye, sorry.
Representative Miyake. Aye. Representative Matsumoto. Aye. Representative Onishi, I marked you as with reservations. Chair, your recommendation is adopted.
All right, thank you for your patience on that measure. Next, dealing with today's original agenda, with HB 2748 relating to law enforcement, which has to do with vehicular pursuit policies. Chair's recommendation will be to push forward an HD1 with the defective date of July 1st, 3000, and some technical amendments. On a personal level, I'm not positive this is really the state's role to take on what is essentially county policy. But I generally agree with the sentiment that we should be looking to have some sort of statewide policy. I'm a little bit conflicted on it, but I'm hoping that the Judiciary Committee can take a closer look and make that determination. Members, any other questions, comments?
Chair.
Rep. IU?
Chair, I'm going to be voting with reservations. It doesn't seem like this bill does that much, given what we're saying about vehicle pursuits. I think the status quo is essentially what the bill is. So I'm just voting reservations since I don't think that
I got you.
we're accomplishing anything here.
Okay.
Thank you.
Rep. Onishi?
Yeah, thank you, Chair. Based on the testimony of the Department of Law Enforcement, I mean, their comment was they didn't feel it was necessary, that they have a process already established that is reviewing pursuit statewide and trying to bring everybody into compliance into one basic policy. So, this again, this is a new department. I think we need to give them the opportunity to look at what is within their purview and how they're going to begin to establish statewide policies in regards to law enforcement. So I think it's a little premature. 2 of the police departments testified against the bill, saying that they already have worked on policies. So I don't know that this bill is necessary. I'll also be voting with reservations at this point.
Okay.
Thank you.
Members? Yes.
I'll also be voting with reservations on this one, too,
Okay.
based on the same sentiment as Rep. Onishi.
Yep.
Thank you.
Same request from Matsumoto.
Got it.
Okay, Vice Chair for the vote.
Members voting on HB 2748, Chair's recommendation is to pass with amendments, noting the presence of all noting the excused absence of Representative Kila and the reservations of Rep. Ayu, Rep. Miyake, Rep. Onishi, and Rep. Matsumoto. Are there any other members choosing to vote no or with reservations? Chair seeing none, your recommendation is adopted.
Okay, thank you. Moving on to HB 2650 relating to invasive species. Chair's recommendation is to push this forward with a defective date of July 1st, 3000, and any necessary technical amendments. So just an HD1. Members, any questions, comments? Okay, seeing none, Vice Chair for the vote on 2650.
Members voting on HB 2650, Chair's recommendation is to pass with amendments, noting the excused absence of Representative Kila. Are there any other members choosing to vote no or with reservations? Chair seeing none, your recommendation is adopted.
Thank you. On our last measure, HB 2122, there are a variety of private road bills, and this is one of them, but I think some of the concerns raised in testimony are pretty relevant. I don't think any county agency, as an example, has the capacity to take on ownership of these roads, particularly in Puna, where I represent, where there's probably more private roads than the rest of the state combined. It would kind of bankrupt the county. So with that being said, we're going to defer this measure. And that's the last item on our agenda, so we are adjourned.